Back on the Marching to Madness College Basketball Podcast this afternoon, we have a brand new guest, Coach Cam English, who's taken over the George Mason Patriots program up in Fairfax, Virginia. Just to get you indoctrinated, if you don't know, Coach English has coached under Frank Haith at Tulsa, Tad Boyle at Colorado, and of course, Rick Barnes at Tennessee. And you played for Mike Anderson, coach at Missouri. That's a pretty solid four there.
Yeah, I got to play for Coach Anderson and play for Coach Haith at Missouri both, and then obviously worked with Coach Haith and the other coaches, Coach Boyle and Coach Barnes. And the thing that I really like most about those four are their history and track records as program builders. From UAB to Missouri to Arkansas, now St. John's. Coach Anderson, Coach Barnes, obviously Mason, Providence, Clemson, Texas, Tennessee. Coach Haith, Miami, Missouri, Tulsa, and Tad, Northern Colorado, and Colorado. So I'm very, very, very thankful and appreciative of my time around those four men, and they played an integral part in my development as a player and as a young coach.
Coach, talk about laying the culture and establishing your program in the first couple of months, that you were on the job there at George Mason. Kind of take us inside. How did you start it?
Well, right away it was about, getting our identity locked in, who we're going to be. And it's one thing for us to know that as a staff, but for our guys, not only to know it, but to exude it. And, it's four things. It's pretty simple in my eyes. It's toughness, it's competitiveness, it's work ethic, and it's humility. If we don't have those four things, we can't play the way we want to play. So it's been good. It's been a process. We feel really good about our roster of 13 scholarship guys. We feel really good about the class we're building in 2022 and beyond. And it's an everyday thing. The structure of our program, the culture of our program is something that we really try to spend a lot of time on building every single day.
Coach Josh Oduro is going to come back into the program. He's going to be your leading returning scorer at 9.9 points. He shot 50.3%, and he had 6.1 rebounds per game, really an inside threat. Just wondering, now that you've worked with him, how is he expanding his game?
Yeah, well, he's an inside-outside threat. We couldn't have replaced Josh Oduro if we would have lost him to the transfer portal. We weren't going to get 6'10", skilled, strong, good shooter, great passer, great person, good student. We weren't going to replace that. No way, no how. So it was really, really, really important for us to lock that down. And we are very fortunate that we did. And his game has expanded a lot. I mean, he's shooting the ball from three. He's pushing the ball in transition. I look at him like a Swiss Army knife. There's not much he can't do on the court.
And you got Jamal Hartwell back. He shot 45.2% from three in league play. Talk about the strides he's made inside of your system.
He's been good. He's been good. I want him shooting the ball. I want him being, confident with his shot attempts and field goal attempts. I want him letting it fly. I'd like if we could get Jamal shooting the ball 5 or 6 times a game from three. So, I played the game not too long ago, played the game as a shooter. I know how powerful confidence is. And all of our players, but especially our shooters and our scorers, that I give them a lot of confidence to shoot the ball.
Then Xavier Johnson's another holdover, and he averaged, I think it was like 1.5 assists to 1 turnover, which it's always good to have that above, obviously, like 1-to-1. And he started 9 games last year.
Yeah, we'd like our point guards to be 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. Xavier had a better freshman year than he did last season. He's healthy finally, which is important. He hasn't He hasn't had a healthy college career. He finally is now, and we're really excited about what he can do in that lead guard role, organizing our team, defending the other team's lead guard, really looking for his experience and strength and athleticism and speed on the court.
Now you went into the transfer portal and you've got some really good players coming in. I want to talk about three of those guys, and then you can add others around there as you wish. I know Deshaun Schwartz because I follow the Pac-12 big time. From Colorado, 9.3 points and 4.1 boards. He shot 40% from three. And he comes over out of a solid program there. Tad Boyle has put that Buffalo program back on the map.
Yeah, I got to coach Deshaun his first 2 years in college. One of my assistants, Nate Thomason, got to coach Deshaun his sophomore, junior, and senior year. So, we know Deshaun really well. I've watched him since he was a high school playing with Kansas City Run GMC. I know him well. He's a very, very, very talented scorer. He's 6'6", 6'7", 230 pounds. He's built like a tank NFL linebacker. He'll be good for us. He's played on back-to-back NCAA tournament teams. He's coming off an NCAA tournament game where he made 5 threes against Georgetown. He's great. He's great for us in implementing what, we preach every day. 2 guys and I've been a part of, and that kind of segues into Devontae Gaines, second of our second of 3 of our transfers, 3 of our 4 transfers. Ticket, similar to Deshaun, knows what I expect, and that he was with me at Tennessee. Yeah. And another one of our assistants, IJ Poole, was also with me at Tennessee. So again, bits and pieces of the culture of different places that I bring, it helps not only having the coaches preach it, but some of the players as well. And our culture at Tennessee, obviously steeped in competitiveness, toughness, and work ethic. All Coach Barnes teams do that at an extremely high level. So, and that's what Devontae Gaines is. He's an incredibly tough, competitive, defensive-minded player. And I think we're going to be excited to see strides that his offensive game takes.
One of the things I saw about him, it was really impressive. He only had 3 turnovers in 68 minutes played last season.
Yeah, he's take care of the ball. He doesn't get outside of himself for the most part. You got to look deeper in Devontae Gaines' stats than just the points and the numbers and things you see. Yeah. If you look at Devontae Gaines, you know that our defensive points per possession at Tennessee was quite a bit better when he was on the court versus when he wasn't. Of all the players that will be playing in the Atlantic 10 next season, no player had a better steal rate or block rate than Devontae Gaines. 2.5 percentage and his steal rate, 2.5 percentage point, and his block rate. So he's an exceptional defensive player. Hope those numbers, obviously they won't be that rate with him playing more minutes, but hopefully he'll still be a really effective wing defender for us.
Devon Cooper coming over from Morehead State, an NCAA tournament team. He was second team all OVC as he shot 36.6% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, Davon's a really good shooter. He's a really good scorer and a really good passer. He spent a lot of time this offseason practicing with a lot of pros. His trainer, Dion Lee, out of Louisville, Kentucky, is a former Division I player and does a really good job training guys. He spent time with D'Angelo Russell working on his game this summer, and really excited for him to be one of our leaders. Really counting on Josh Oduro, Devon Cooper, Deshaun Schwartz, along with Xavier Johnson and Devontae Gaines, those older guys that have been through the rigors of NCAA tournaments, the SEC, the Pac-12, the Atlantic 10. So really, really excited to kind of lean on those guys and have them take our team by the horn.
As I was studying George Mason closer from last year, I know defending the three was a challenge for the Patriots. What did you find maybe as you watch the film, on that you will adjust and make it better? Already you've got, like you say, in Devontae Gaines out there who can guard the perimeter.
Are you saying that because of numbers of threes allowed or the 3-point percentage defense?
The efficiency, it was 36.6, I think.
So percentage. So you're saying team shot a good percentage. So so I don't really weigh much into 3-point field goal percentage. I'm more so worried about the attempts. Yeah. Who's getting those attempts, because I kind of think 3-point field goal defense, especially if it's a low number, I think guys either make or miss shots. I'm really concerned with us. I'm not really focused on last season. Obviously, there's things that I emphasize more, things we need to do better. But for us, and especially defensively, we don't want good shooters getting off attempts. So if Jimmy Barron from Rhode Island, from the University of Rhode Island, if we played Jim Barron and Jim Barron finished the game 1 for 1, right? That's 100%. That is 100%. But that's a good defensive effort for us that Jimmy Barron only got off 1 3-point shot. So for me, it's about us, our guys, understanding what we want to accomplish offensively, structurally. Yeah. And make sure we do that at a high level, and that's keep the ball out of the paint. That's not allow attempts from great 3-point shooters. And we want to not foul. We want to force contested too. So I can't get into a litany of what last year's team did or didn't do, but I know the things that we emphasize every day, and defense is a big part of that.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your impressions of the Atlantic 10. You've been in a lot of different conferences around college basketball and things. What are you seeing in the A10 as you look at things that might be different from anywhere you've been?
Yeah. Not much difference. Not much different. Really good coaching. I've been in leagues with really good coaching, the American, the Pac-12, and the SEC. There's great coaching in the Atlantic 10. I mean, you go from top to bottom. Mark Schmidt, Anthony Grant, Mike Rhodes, Travis Ford, really good coaches, first and foremost. And then that segues right to what I just said, not much difference. The next thing that obviously makes conferences great are the players. Yeah. And it's exactly the same. I mean, if you look at the last few years of the SEC, and the Atlantic 10, and you think about Trey Mitchell, and you think about Bones Highlands, and you think about Obi Toppin, and you think about DeAndre Bembry, the kid Dowden from Rhode Island, Jacob Gilliard at Richmond. I mean, it's extremely talented, high major players in this league, just like every other league I've been. I grew up a fan of the Atlantic 10, being from Baltimore, watching Carl Hobbs GW teams in Rhode Island with Jim Barron and Xavier and Temple and Dayton, and some new faces in the league now with VCU and Mason, obviously, and Davidson. But really excited to learn the league. I've been studying teams this summer from time to time. Really excited about our opportunity to compete in one of the best conferences in college basketball.
Coach, I was just curious, you're up in the DMV area, and of course you're well familiar with that as you talk about Baltimore. Talk about the high school ball up there and the importance of maybe, having a really big footprint in that area.
Oh, we're going to have a footprint in this area. I mean, that's the reason I'm not sitting in my office right now. I'm driving to a high school gym now to watch pick up at 4. I love it. I love it. I was involved with a couple of jobs this spring, and Coach Barnes would ask me, would you rather this job or Mason? And I said Mason every single time. And obviously the history of the program and what Coach Larinaga did for his tenure here, and obviously the special 2006 season. But the recruiting was a big part of it. I'm really excited about the fact that I can go in my car right now and see some of the absolute best players in America and be back at home to have dinner with my daughters after this. So the recruiting is spectacular.
Mhm.
We already have, and we will continue to sign some of the best players from this region.
Yeah.
Well, we got committed. We'll sign them in November.
November. Yeah. Hey, I'm just curious, talk about the excitement you have at running, a major college program at the age of 32. That's got to be exciting for you.
Yeah, man. It is exciting. I go to bed excited. I wake up before my alarm clock every day,
Yeah.
and I'm ready to get to the gym and get to it. It's great. And it's less about me. The
Mhm.
excitement is about the guys I get to do it with, the staff.
Mhm.
It's about the players that we are fortunate enough to coach. I mean, big time people. We had a prospect on campus today, and I was talking to his dad, and I looked around the gym. I said, if any one of these guys, if they were older, if my daughters were older, I said, if my daughter brought home any of these guys, I'd be honored. I'd
Yeah.
be so excited, happy. And that's really true. So it's about the fact that I get to do it with these guys that I really believe in and love so much, with a staff that I've had so many connections to. And it's absolutely a blessing. It's absolutely a blessing and an opportunity that I don't take for granted or take lightly at all.
Coach Cam English, George Mason University. Coach, I'm going to be looking forward to watching your guys play, and I wish you the best of luck. And I hope we can do this again, at some point, maybe during the season.
Well, next time I'll be sitting down in my office. I'm really sorry for the
No.
view. I should have put one of those backgrounds up, whatever. But I'm driving through DC right now, about to go see one of my guys play some open gym.
No problem, Coach. It's different, it gives a little flavor to the Zoom there with the coach driving to recruit. I think it's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.